My history teacher has a heck of a time talking to me about maps. She takes me home and I start asking her questions about maps, and then she gets irritated. She gets so annoyed. She's like, "I'm done with you. Can't do this anymore." Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna play one of my songs. It's one that I wrote. The name of the song is called Eve. It's over here. The name of the song is called Eve's Life. Do you guys know who Eve is? Adam and Eve, Garden of Eden. Okay, the song, I'll give you the narration for first. It's basically what the title is, about her life. And when I first play it, it's played without the pedal. So the pedals are down there, and that represents what her life would be without God. And the song sounds a lot more dull. It's still pretty, but it's a lot less beautiful. But when you add the pedal, and in this case the pedal represents God, it's a lot fuller. My narration goes along with the Bible, so I'll just read you some scriptures that go along with the narration of my song. If you look in Genesis and you start in verse 15, it says, "Then the Lord took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and keep it. And the Lord commanded the man, saying, You may surely eat of every tree of the garden, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat, for the day that you eat it you shall surely die." Then it goes into all of the things that God created man. But then Adam says, well, none of these people I can have companionship with. None of birds, dogs, all of those things, they're not something that he can connect with. So God makes women, where we came from. So then it says this. Sorry, I lost my place. It says, "So God caused deep sleep to fall upon the man, and while he slept, took one of his ribs and closed up the place with his flesh. And the rib that the Lord God had taken from the man, he made into a woman, and brought her to the man. Then the man said, This at last is the bone of my bones and the flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. Therefore man shall leave his father and his mother, and hold fast to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. And the man and the wife were both naked and were not ashamed." So already he has a deep connection with his wife. They're close. I mean, she came literally from him. So these people, they're really close. But then, right off the bat, they deny what Jesus told them to do. And if you go to 3:1-24, it says, "Now the serpent was crafty, and any other beast of the field that the Lord God had made. He said to the woman, Did God actually say you shall eat of every tree in the garden? The woman said to the serpent, You may eat of the fruit of the trees in the garden. But God said, You shall not eat of the fruit of the tree that is in the midst of the garden, neither shall you touch it, lest you surely die." If you notice, she had it on there, and God never said you couldn't touch the tree, but she was embellishing a little bit what God says, which sometimes I tend to do. And then it said, "But the serpent said to the woman, You shall not surely die, for God knows that when you eat of it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil." So when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was delightful in the eyes, and that the tree was to be desired to make one wise, she took of its fruit and ate. And she also gave some to her husband who was with her, and they ate. So, let me keep reading. "Then the eyes were both opened, and they knew they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together, made themselves linen clothes." So they know they did wrong. They didn't know that they did that. They know they did wrong. So already she's denied God. She knows she's did wrong. So now she's scared of God, because it's kind of like your parents. You would be scared of your parents if you denied them. So then it continues to go. "And they heard the sound of the Lord was walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And the man and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord among the trees of the garden. But the Lord God called to the man and said to him, Where are you? And he said, I heard the sound of you in the garden, and I was afraid." It's kind of like a parent coming after you've broken a dish. And it said, I was naked and I hid myself. He said, who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree of which I commanded you not to eat? So Adam just trapped himself. The man said, the woman whom you gave to me, she gave me the fruit of the tree, and I ate it. So now they don't obey God, and now they're playing the blame game. Adam just betrayed his wife. He basically just tattletaled on his wife to God. He said, oh, it's not my fault. She did it. So then she goes, I'll continue reading, and tattletales on the serpent, a snake. She goes, where? In the bed. Then the Lord said to the woman, what is this you have done? The woman said, the serpent deceived me and I ate. And then it continues going in. It goes, so now God, they've disobeyed him, and he told them what's going to happen. If you eat of the tree, you will die. He gives the serpent a curse, which is to crawl in its belly. He gives the woman a curse, which is to bear childbirth. And he gives the man the curse, which is the ground will no longer till fruit for him. But if you notice here, he did not kill them right away. God is merciful. He still had mercy on them. They're gonna die. This is where death came from. This is why everyone on earth dies. There's no one who doesn't die. But he gave them a curse and he was merciful. Then the man called this is verse 20. The man called his wife's name Eve because she was the mother of the living. And the Lord made for Adam and his wife garments of skins and clothed them. Then the Lord God said, behold, the man has come like one of us, in knowing good and evil. Now, lest he reach out his hand and take also of the tree of life and eat and live forever. Therefore the Lord God said to him out from the Garden of Eden, sent him out from the Garden of Eden to work the ground from which he was taken. He drove out the man, and at the east of the Garden of Eden he placed a cherubim and a flaming sword that turned every way to guard the way of the tree of life. So now they're just kicked out of the only place they've ever known. And it's like your childhood home, and then you're ripped out, picked up, you live in Colorado, you're taken and you're moved to Wyoming or California, totally different new territory. They just made their father angry. She was just betrayed by her husband, and now she's kicked out of the only place she's ever known. Then we continue reading into verse 4. Now Adam knew his wife, and she conceived and bore Cain, saying, I have gotten a man with the help of the Lord. And again she bore his brother Abel. So now she has two sons, Cain and Abel, her first two sons. And they end up killing each other. And the reason they killed each other, if you think about it, is jealousy, which is highly, if you want to look at it from an atheist point of view, it's retarded. There's a person there, if you just want to look at it taking God out of the picture, so what? God liked his offering better than yours. Who cares? I'll read you that for you. Now Abel was a keeper of sheep, and Cain a worker of the ground. In the course of time, Cain brought to the Lord an offering of fruit of the ground, and Abel also brought of the firstborn of his flock and of their fat portions. And the Lord had regarded for Abel and his offering, but Cain and his offering he did not regard. So Cain was very angry, and his face fell. Then the Lord said to Cain, why are you angry, and why is your face fallen? If you do well, will you not be accepted? And if you do not do well, your sin is crouching at the door. It desires for you, but you must rule over it. So now Cain's jealousy. And jealousy, I know from experience, is horrible, and it causes rotten feelings, and it holds on to you. But Cain takes it to a new extreme. Cain spoke to his brother, to Abel his brother, and when they were in the field, Cain rose up against his brother Abel and killed him. So now he just killed his brother, his own, the second born brother. So they're close to age, and it's your family, and you just killed your family. Now think about it from Eve's side. Her son just died. She lost a child. And now Cain, her firstborn, betrayed their family and is the one who killed that child. So far Eve's life isn't looking really good. So now we continue. Then the Lord said to Cain, "Where is Abel, your brother?" He said, "I do not know. Am I my brother's keeper?" Making excuses. And then the Lord said, "What have you done? The voice of your brother's blood is crying to me from the ground. And now you are cursed from the ground, which has opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you work the ground, it shall no longer yield to you its strength. You shall be a fugitive and a wanderer on the earth." Cain said to the Lord, "My punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, you have driven me away from the ground, and from your face I shall be hidden. I shall be a fugitive and a wanderer on earth. Whoever finds me will kill me." Then the Lord said to him, "Not so. If anyone kills Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold." And the Lord put a mark on Cain, lest anyone who found him attacked him. Then Cain went away to the presence of the Lord, went away from the presence of the Lord, and settled in the land of Nod, east of the garden. So not only is her kid dead, God just cursed her other kid. And her other kid is now gone. He left. He left the family. He went to a different country. If you look here again, God again has mercy on him. He gives him a curse and says, "This is going to happen. People are going to want you. You're going to have vengeance. You're no longer going to be able to work." This is his life's job. He just fired him, basically. He just took his job away. But Cain's like, "I'm going to die. What am I supposed to do? People are going to kill me. You put a mark on me." God again has mercy on him and says, "Okay, you know what? You won't die. I will still protect you. I'll protect you, and no one will be able to hurt you." And then if you continue, and Adam knew his wife again, and she bore a son named Seth. And she said, "God has appointed for me another offspring instead of Abel, for Cain killed him." To Seth also a son was born, and he called the name Ishmael. That time the people began to call upon the name of the Lord. So now the earth is growing. And then if you go into verse 5, the Bible doesn't mention women, but it says when Adam had lived 130 years, he fathered a son in his own likeness, and I presume, the days of Adam after his father Seth were 800 years. Okay, so, and he had other sons and daughters. Thus the days of Adam lived 930 years, and he died. So now Eve's dead. Okay, let's look at Eve's life from a non-Christian perspective. Let's just say evolution created her. She ended up in this place. This entire story is fake. But let's talk about her sons. Her son just died, murdered by her other son. Cain ran away, and now she has another son, and then she dies. And her husband betrays her. Total broken family. I mean, her life's horrible. Who wants that? It's like nowadays. If you look at people's lives, we work, we get old, and we die. We have children, and they leave. It's horrible. Nothing's good about life without God. There is no good. You can't base anything off of good. There isn't any. You can't have a society without God because everybody does what's right in their own eyes. Now let's put God into Eve's life. She disobeys her father, but her father doesn't abandon her. He doesn't leave her, and her father is God. If you notice, even though she's kicked out of the Garden of Eden, he still stays with her. He still talks to them. He's still there with them. He punished her. He said to his word, and there were consequences for her actions, like a good father would do, but he didn't leave her. Her son is killed and is taken to heaven. And her other son is cursed, but he still protects her other son. He makes it so that no one can kill him. And then he gives her another son named Seth this is not the word, but make up or at least comfort her a little bit. Her husband, if we go back, betrayed her. He did. He ratted her out to God. God already knew it, but he was, that quick to the woman who came from him to betray her, throw her out the window. That had to be some trust issues. That's a marriage issue right there. Mm-hmm. But God, you see they didn't separate. They're still together. God and then she dies. God throughout her entire life protected her. He was with her. He helped her. It's the same with our lives now. Eve had marriage problems. God helps marriage. I've seen it with my parents. I've seen it with my friends' parents. Without God, marriages fail. I have all my friends, basically, their marriages have failed, and they don't have God. My parents went through a really hard time, but because they had God, and God says divorce is wrong, they stayed together, and they're here right now because of God. She lost a child. I have an aunt who lost a child. I can't imagine losing my friends, so I can't imagine losing my own flesh and blood. But God's helping her through that right now. If you lose a child and there's no God, you're never going to see them again. Ever. They're gone. They're not there. If they were Christians, they're in heaven. And if they were Christians, they're not, I'm sorry. But if they were Christians, they are in heaven. And if you want to see them again, you have to become a Christian, or else you're going to hell and you're not going to see them ever again. Eve lost a child. She had marriage problems. And then she had teenage problems, which we can compare to Cain leaving its family and all. God can help you with your child. I have a great relationship with my parents, and that's not because I'm this wonderful kid. That's because the Bible told me how I'm supposed to treat them, how I'm supposed to treat other people. And that's why me and my dad stayed up till 12 o'clock talking last night. So me and my mom talk and have this wonderful relationship. It's nothing they did. It's nothing I did. It's all God. My entire family is God. So that's what I based my song off of, is Eve's life versus God's life. And that's the narration of her story. I'm not going to play my song. The first one is without the pedal. And it's what her life looks like without God. But once you bring God into it, it's way more beautiful.
Okay, so just pretend like I'm not here.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Okay. I think what I'm gonna do now is read a poem because I found some really kind of cool poems, and I really like them. So this first one is about dads, but I think it can. Oh no, wait. It is about grandpas. Okay, I was gonna say I think it can be translated to grandpas. Okay. From the time you told me those lovely bedtime stories to the time you succumbed to my wishes when I said please. From the time when you took me to play in the garden to the time when you said that I'm 1 in a million. From the time you placed and rocked me in your lap to the time you did things to reduce our generation gap. At every occasion in my life, at every juncture and experience, I have been with you, Grandpa. I thank you in abundance. And then I love this one. This one, I just love it. It's called And Grandmas Too. While we honor all our mothers with words of love and praise, while we tell about their goodness and their kind and loving ways, we should always think of Grandma. She's a mother too, you see, for she mothered my dear mother as my mother mothers me. And I am going to read 2 more, and then we'll play a couple songs, because that's what you guys came here for. Okay, this one's called Walking with Grandma. I like walking with Grandma. Her steps are short like mine. She doesn't say, now hurry up. She always takes her time. I like to walk with Grandma. Her eyes see things like mine do. Wee pebbles bright and funny clouds, half hidden drops of dew. Most people have to hurry. They don't stop to see. I'm glad that God made Grandma unrushed and young like me. And then this one is just about grandparents in general. It's called Grandparents. When God created grandparents, the world was truly blessed with all the special joys that make a family happiest. For grandparents know how to do the little things that warm our heart. They touch our lives with love and care right from the very start. They show that they believe in us and all we're dreaming of. When God created grandparents, He blessed our lives with love. Okay, and now we're going to play a couple songs, and then I can come around and talk to you guys, and we can read more poems. It's really open in here.
Are you gonna order pizza, honey?
Huh?
Are you gonna order pizza?
No. Even piano people make mistakes. I've got to come up with a better system.
I'm good. I never heard it.
And now this next one, I think you guys will all know it once I start playing it. And I love the song, and I was going to sing to it, but as you can tell, my voice is not going to allow me. Yeah, it is. A what? Oh, sorry. Okay. This one you guys should know as well. I think about everyone knows this song. my piano teacher has tried one of these songs. It's Beauty and the Beast, and I did memorize it, but it went out the window. I forgot it.
You can qualify to move in here.
Fit right in.
I prefer to write music and play it. I know it's piano people for stuff like this are supposed to memorize music, but I feel I'm safe for now, and I really don't feel like it.
Memorize it.
Yeah, exactly. But as for ear, not really. I'm not that good. I can't hear music and play it. I actually envy people who can write music away from the piano, because I'll sit there and like push it out and rough it out for like hours trying to just get one note. So I'm not the person who can play it by ear.
Not yet. You might yet.
She plays her own music by memory. That
Oh,
song
well,
she's
then she does some.
Yeah.
I said those